I always keep 5 reminders for myself for when I forget so that I can remember. These are like fundamental truths or my biggest lessons, and I often tend to forget that. So I have them digitally on my desktop. I have them physically as post-it notes in my working area. These 5 reminders, I think they are very helpful for me. And I'm sure these would be very helpful for you, the listener, as well. So the first reminder is that you are enough. The way you are, with your skills, with your strengths, with your weaknesses, the way you are and the way you are not, you're enough. You're never lesser, you're never better than anybody else. You are enough just the way you are. You are equal. So that takes away all the inferiority, right? So many times we stop ourselves because we think that we do not have what it takes. We are not ready. And similarly, if you're not below somebody, you're also not above somebody. So you're enough the way you are and you have what it takes. You might have skills to learn, you might have new practices to do, but at the same time, whatever big dream, whatever vision that you have all the answers within you, and you are enough the way you are right now. The second reminder is that there are no ordinary moments. There are no ordinary moments. There is only one place where all actions arises, and that is the now. There is no ordinary and extraordinary moments. There is no past and the future. The past exists only in this present moment as what we can remember, and the future also lives only in this present moment. Can we act in this moment given the future that we want to create? If we cannot act, if we are unable to act in this moment based on what we want to create in the future, then nothing matters and the future doesn't exist. The future exists only in your actions in the current moment. If you can learn to meditate in every action and really take the action now based on the future that you want to create, that's the only thing which matters. There are no ordinary moments. Every moment is an opportunity to either live your past and carry that forward, or to do something which is totally fresh, which is totally new based on where you want to be, where you want to go in the future. The third reminder which I have is that you always have the choice to respond, and you always have the complete 100% choice to respond to life the way you want to, and to take 100% responsibility for the same things. There are no right and wrong choices. There are no mistakes in this perspective. There are only choices to make, and the only thing you need to remember or you need to be conscious of is that every choice has a consequence. If the weather shows that it might rain today, and if I go out with an umbrella, that's a choice which I am making, and that will have a certain consequence. And if the weather shows that it might rain and I step out without an umbrella, then that's a choice, and that might have a consequence of me getting wet. But as long as I am taking choices and I'm willing to accept responsibility for my choices, then there is nothing else. There is nothing good or bad and wrong about choices. In each moment, no matter what you're doing, you always have a choice. And also learn to speak this way. Instead of saying that I couldn't join this meeting because my previous meeting ran over, really start to acknowledge your choice that my previous meeting ran over and I decided to stay. And I choose to not interrupt, or I choose to not step out, and because I had another meeting. Right? So you're always making choices, and that's the only thing which you have in each moment. You have choices to make. There's no heaviness there. This is complete freedom, complete responsibility as well. There is no blame here. You choose what you do, and then as long as you're willing to take a responsibility for that, you move on and make the fresh choice. So there are no ordinary moments, and in every moment you have complete choice to do what you want to do. The fourth reminder which I have for myself is that do not take yourself too seriously. This is not about you. You are not the center of the universe. Whatever responsibility that you have taken on, whatever leadership that you are leading, it's not about you. So don't take yourself too seriously. Keep a sense of humor about yourself. At the same time, take your word very seriously. Take the promises that you make out in the world, the commitments that you make very seriously, because there are very real consequences when working with people. When you say that you will do something and you don't do it. So do what you say, what you do. Take your word very seriously, but don't take yourself very seriously. Right? That creates a whole lot of stress, pressure, heaviness, in this journey as a leader. You want to take on big responsibilities, produce big results, wonderful. But there is no point doing that if you are always burdened by that. So don't take yourself too seriously. Learn to laugh about yourself, about your mistakes, and bring a lightness to each moment as you choose your next choice and the next one and the next one. The last one, reminder is to stand for something bigger than yourself and to take action in service of that what you are standing for and for its own sake. There is nothing wrong with standing for something small or big and to say that one thing is big or one thing is small, but take a stand for something which you care about. Ask yourself, what do you care about? If you are a human being, you care about something. It could be as simple as your pet, as your family, as your children, or it could be as big as your country, as your nation, or for the whole world. But whatever it is that you care about, take a stand for that. That is the time when your leadership starts. The moment your leadership starts is when you say that I take a stand for that because this matters to me, because I care about this. Leadership is not about titles, right? If somebody gives you a title but you do not take a stand for that, then you are not a leader in my book. But even without the title, if you say, I take a stand for that, I want to create this, or I want to see the world different, or I want to see my family different, or I want to see my team different, and I take a stand for that, that is the moment your leadership starts. So take a stand for something bigger than yourself. And why something bigger than yourself? Because if I only care about myself, sometimes life can get too engrossed when we get into the illusion that I am the center of the universe. And sometimes going for something bigger can actually bring that sense of lightness, can bring that context, can zoom out, can take you zoom out of your own little bubble and see the world for what it is. And by doing so, whatever little problems you have will actually stay little. And if you are entirely focused on yourself, we all tend to sometimes over-exaggerate or take whatever issues we have, we tend to make them bigger than we are. And if we stand for something bigger than ourselves, it gives us an opportunity to put our challenges, our fears, our struggles in the context of what it is that we care about in the larger world. As the reminder earlier said, that it's all about choices. As you take every action, you devote it to what it is that you're standing for. Like if you take a stand for your company reaching a particular level, then take every action in service of that. And then you do that for its own sake. In this moment, because there's no good or bad choices, there are no ordinary moments. And in this moment, and then the next moment, and then the next, that's how you basically stand for something bigger than yourself. I always keep these 5 reminders for myself, no matter what I'm going through, especially if it's a challenging time, if it's a time when I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm demotivated. If I look at these 5 reminders, more often than not, one of these clicks and I see where I am not really following them. And that allows me to just center myself, to change my stance and to start making fresh choices from a place of responsibility rather than being a victim. But it's the most important part of leadership or life is to have fun in the process. So no matter where you are, can you have fun? So can you really say that I'm going through a divorce and I'm wonderful, I'm delighted? Can you really say that I'm struggling in my finances and I'm wonderful? Because these 2 things can be true at the same time. No matter what the external circumstances of your life are, you can still be light, you can still be joyful about it and learning. And even though it might appear like the circumstances might be bringing in a lot of tension. So that's the whole point of leadership, to have fun in the process, right? If you're going after a big goal, if you're standing up for a huge cause, what is the point if you're making life miserable for yourself? So reminding myself of these 5 reminders allow me to have fun, to be light, and to float through life irrespective of what is happening. And that ends up, sometimes I speak it out loud, like I was feeling stressed this morning, but I'm wonderful. Or I just had an argument with my teammate and I'm wonderful. Or my financial plans are going totally haywire and I'm wonderful. I'm enjoying the process. That I have learned that allows me to make better choices of whatever financial conditions or whatever external conditions that might be that might be going wrong in my life, versus if I try to take it with too much seriousness, too much heaviness, versus I want to take it as a burden. Oh, I'm not, like, my finances are not well. What does it mean? I'm not a good father. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good employee. I'm not a good leader. Instead of all of that, just bringing myself back to this present moment. There are no ordinary moments. In each moment, I have complete choice. And how can I make the next choice while feeling completely free, first of all, and then also having fun and also enjoying the process. I hope you find these helpful.